Host Nick Toka. On today's show, GameStop borrows strategy playbook and plans to raise $1.3 billion to buy Bitcoin. Memes lead the bounce back. Saylor to burn BTC keys, and more specifically here, and more importantly, BlackRock expands to Solana. Also, the feature story of today. I'm very interested in this. Analysts reveal how much Bitcoin is needed for retirement in the US. We're going to go through our charts, Bitcoin technical analysis, and all this and so much more on today's show. Welcome, folks, to CryptoNews Global. I'm your host, Nick Toka. On today's show, we got a fun one. I'm very interested. I actually didn't read this one. Normally, I read the articles beforehand, but I wanted to save my own surprise here, too. How much Bitcoin it takes to retire in the United States of America. Let's see. I'm very curious. But let's hop right into our technical analysis. We have another down day. Trump announced, yes, he's going to put tariffs on cars, and yes, they're going ahead with the April 2nd tariffs on Europe. So a bit of a down day, but things have turned around in the past couple hours or so. Right now, Bitcoin is sitting at 87,692, pretty much unchanged in the last 24 hours. It was hovering exactly at this 87.5 yesterday evening as well. Ethereum down 1.5%, $2,027. Solana down 2.5%, $139. XRP down 3%, $2.38. Doge up 3%, 19 cents. Shiba up a couple percent at 0.0000000015. Let's move into our crypto bubbles, and we see about a 60-40 split between green and red for the day. Sui up 8%. Sui's a bit of an underdog. I expect it actually to do big things. The price is still very low. I think it's like $2.50, something like that. $2.67 as we speak. Ranked number 17 in market cap worldwide. So CRV up 14%, Pepe up 6%, Jasmy up 5%, Maker up 11%. Zooming out to the weekly, we have a beautiful look here, approximately 90% in the green for the week, putting big smiles on a lot of people's faces right now. And zooming out to the monthly, there's a lot more green now in the month, as I predicted. We have about a 75 in the red, maybe even less, 60-40 red to green. We have some, respectable winners for the month. We've got Kronos up 27%, Barra 26%, CRV, Curve DAO. This one's kind of new, although it's been out for a year, but it's been making a move here the past month, down 18% for the year, but up 32% for the month. On the flip side, Pi down 50%, Hype down 25%, Ray down 30%. Injective, what a steal this is, guys. Down for the month, 72%. Up for the week, 6%. And for the year, down 72%. So, check out the value you're getting here. I like this one. The market cap's fairly high. The total supply is 100 million, which sounds like a lot compared to Bitcoin, but a lot of the other ones, we're talking into the billions, right? And of course, Ethereum is unlimited supply. So I don't mind this one at all. I like how it has a limited supply and there's actual utility for this coin. Let's move into the crypto market cap. We have Bitcoin sitting at $1.733 trillion, Ethereum $244 billion, XRP $138 billion, Solana $71 billion, Doge $29 billion, Cardano $26 billion, Tron $22 billion. The crypto dominance is sitting at 61.73% of the total crypto supply, and Ethereum sitting at 8.68%, XRP 4.92%, down a little bit. I haven't seen it under 5% for quite some time. Currently, we're sitting at a 34 in fear on the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. Different charts tell you different things. Binance says 40. CoinMarketCap tells us 34. It's hard to say which one's more accurate. Binance, biggest exchange. CoinMarketCap, huge company as well. There are approximately 1,113 days until the next Bitcoin halving, and there's 160,409 blocks to mine until that time, and until the year 2140, when the final Bitcoin's mined, we have 1,157,529 Bitcoin left to mine. The top assets by market cap, we still have, of course, gold at the top, $20.3 trillion. Apple. Now, assets by market cap, we keep, gold is always up top here. But I just want to clarify that this is the ETF they're talking about. They're not talking about total gold worldwide. Total gold worldwide is more than that. Apple, $3.3 trillion. Microsoft, $2.9 trillion. Nvidia, $2.7 trillion. Amazon, $2.1 trillion. Google, $2 trillion. Silver, $1.9 trillion. Bitcoin, $1.7 trillion. Saudi Aramco, $1.7 trillion. And Meta Facebook, $1.5 trillion. And you can currently get 1,140 Satoshis for one US fiat dollar. Who owes a heck of a lot of money, folks? Currently, the US national debt at $36,647 billion, which equals $107,173 per US citizen and $323,048 per US taxpayer. And the debt clock continues to climb non-stop. So we have a new player in the corporate Bitcoin sphere, and a lot of people are excited about this one. The stock's up about 15% in the past 2 days, and that would be GameStop. We talked about this yesterday. And GameStop borrows strategy playbook and plans to raise $1.3 billion to buy Bitcoin, probably buy convertible stocks. GameStop said it plans to offer up $1.3 billion worth of convertible senior notes to buy Bitcoin, following the approach of strategy. Brilliant, and why wouldn't you? All right, maybe if this is the kind of nerd you would expect to be GameStop's CEO, right? Here you got like cool Michael Saylor, probably 50, maybe 60 years old, and then you got the young nerd over here. Video game retailer GameStop said on a Wednesday that it plans to offer up $1.3 million worth of convertible senior notes to investors, taking a page straight out of strategy. And they're buying Playbook. The Texas-based firm said in a press release that proceeds from the sale will be used for general corporate purposes, including the acquisition of Bitcoin. The announcement comes one day after GameStop said it could purchase Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset, following an update to the company's investment policy. GameStop expects its offering of convertible senior notes to pay a 0% dividend, according to the press release. That number's got to be wrong. The debt can be converted into GameStop's Class A common stock with a conversion date and pricing set to be determined at a later date. Strategy has issued billions of dollars of convertible senior notes, raising capital to purchase more Bitcoin than it could otherwise. The company unveiled its latest offering of convertible debt in February, raising $2 billion via convertible notes maturing in March 2030. GameStop's expected offering has a similar maturation date. The notes are expected to mature in April 2030 unless they've already been converted or are redeemed by GameStop. The retailer said that holders of its convertible senior notes may receive a mix of cash and shares when the notes are converted at its own discretion. GameStop shares rose 11% on Wednesday during the regular trading hours to $28.30, according to NASDAQ. In after-hours trading, however, GameStop's share slipped to $26.63. GameStop CEO Ryan Cohen hinted at the firm's Bitcoin pivot. Last month, he posted alongside strategy co-founder and executive. He posed, I should say, alongside Michael Saylor in a photo he posted on X. While GameStop may soon buy Bitcoin using debt, the company is already flush with cash. Per its latest earnings report, the Texas-based firm held $4.7 billion in cash and cash equivalents. This was up significantly from $921 million a year ago. So GameStop rolling in cash, and they're doing the smart thing, and instead of letting their cash sit there and deflate, they are going into the biddy, and instead they should, in return, get some fairly decent gains. I agree with that strategy 100%. I mean, how can you go wrong with Mr. Saylor? I just can't see you going wrong with Saylor's strategy. He just keeps rolling it in, over 500,000 Bitcoin right now, which is over 1% of the total supply. Just a brilliant guy, and doing it late too. He didn't get into Bitcoin until 2020, right? And at that time, he was the first corporate holder of Bitcoin. So insane how fast things change. Now we're 2025. We've got U.S. Treasury Reserve. We've got Abu Dhabi said they have 500 billion in Bitcoin, or is it 500 million? It was a lot, whatever it was. We've got BlackRock, 12, 13 ETFs, or exchange traded products as they like to call them. We've got Gary Gensler, who, get that garbage out of here, and he did. And now it's a pro-crypto SEC, a pro-crypto government, a pro-people government, I would even say. So let's see how this plays out around the world. I wouldn't be surprised if very soon we start seeing other countries saying, yeah, we're buying the biddy, we're putting it on our balance sheet. I also read an article about the IMF now stating that Bitcoin is a valid asset, and they're going to start hodling Bitcoin. So imagine how far it's gone if the freaking IMF, who nobody should trust, but if they're getting into it, the States is into it, BlackRock's into it. Can we talk about bigger players here? Are there bigger players on the world stage than, the three entities I just named? I think not. So if you haven't gotten into biddy, you can buy in with as little as $10, folks. You don't have to wait. You don't need a full Bitcoin. You can buy partial. It's not like stocks where you have to buy at least one full share, or, ideally 100. A full lot is what you're really trading in the traditional financial markets. You can buy one share, yes, but generally it's harder to unload and even harder to buy if you're looking for one. I suppose it depends on the company. I have a friend who, when Facebook launched, a guy I worked with, I bought Facebook. He proclaimed, like, wow, amazing. How much did you buy it? 4. I was like, okay. And now it's, number 5 or 6 on the top assets worldwide. So I'm sure he's made a pretty penny even on his 4 shares, right? So it's all relative, folks. So with Bitcoin, it's the same thing. You don't need to buy a full Bitcoin. You buy what you can afford. Michael Saylor's gone on the record to say everybody should have 0.1 Bitcoin. So I think that's a very reasonable goal for people. And again, you don't need to buy 0.1 Bitcoin in one shot. But if you dollar cost average in over time, hopefully you can get to that 0.1 Bitcoin, right? And it's going to make a big difference in your life if you HODL throughout the 4-year cycles. And if you've got 0.1 and Bitcoin goes to $1 million, there's your 100K. If it goes to 3, 4, 10 million, like a lot of people are calling for in the next cycle, 2029, 2028, 10 million bucks makes you a millionaire with 0.1, right? So a good strategy, and ultimately it's really mathematically guaranteed to increase in value because of the limited supply. The currencies, the fiat currencies around the world, are mathematically decreasing and are debased because of the money printing. The more money that gets printed, the less your money is worth. And it's just a fact, folks. So the Biddy is a good place to be in. Certainly one thing you can afford now to get full shares of is you can still certainly afford full shares of XRP. You can still afford full shares of Solana. It's starting to get expensive, but you can, if you're adamant about owning one whole thing, well, you can. Now, going with the Biddy, that's where you're safest. I'm not necessarily saying that's where you're going to make the most money, but long term, it's guaranteed that Bitcoin's not going out of business. You don't know what's going to happen with the other players, but personally, when I talk about crypto, I'm not talking about shit coins, right? I'm talking about Bitcoin, XRP, Solana. That's where the focus should be. Again, I really like Injective. Algorand is a good one too. There's lots of room for that to go up. They're right now at about 1-year lows. We also, Doge is probably a very, very good value right now. It's not probably, it is a very good value now. I went through a few of these with you guys last week. So what I'm buying the dip on, or what I bought the dip on, was Solana, Algorand, Doge, and Injective. On my list, I also have AVAX, Toncoin, Polkadot, and of course XRP, which I'm in on XRP at like a quarter. So I'm not, if I buy more XRP, I'm averaging up. So for me, it doesn't make that much sense. It makes sense to buy things when the price is low, sell when they're high. Now, let's get into the feature story of today. I'm excited for this one. I told you guys I haven't read it yet because I'm waiting to read it together with you guys, because analysts reveal how much Bitcoin is needed for retirement in the United States of America. Is it possible, or it is possible, to save in Bitcoin in hopes of earning big upon retirement? A move Miles Deutscher believes is possible with 30 BTC. What, are you fucking kidding me? Who's got 30 BTC? A recent assessment has provided insight into how much Bitcoin is needed for a comfortable retirement in the United States. In an next post, financial analyst Miles Deutscher estimated the amount of Bitcoin required to achieve financial freedom, citing the work of Austrian economist Karl Menger. The Bitcoin retirement plan estimate. According to Miles Dutcher on X, approximately 30 Bitcoin units may be required to retire comfortably in the United States. Okay, then. So they're saying $3 million as of right now, almost. This estimation is based on the current Bitcoin price and Menger's economic principles. Notably, these principles evaluate purchasing power and wealth sustainability. As of this writing, market data shows that Bitcoin was trading at approximately 86,000 and a half per coin. At this valuation, 30 BTC units would be worth around $2.6 million, a figure estimated as enough for retirement in the country. When are you retiring? At 30 years old? Wow, what kind of lifestyle are these guys leading with $3 million retirement? Makes me wonder if they're taking first class and going on cruises every week, or normal people, I think, can retire with a lot less than that. Correct me if I'm wrong here, folks. Interestingly, this analysis has stirred up conversation among investors and the entire cryptocurrency community. While some in the community see this estimate as correct, others remain unsure considering the fluctuation in Bitcoin price. While fluctuation is real, some analysts argue a positive upside in the long term. Notably, BitMEX co-founder Arthur Hayes predicts Bitcoin will hit 110,000 in the short term, with a potential reversal afterward. Should BTC hit 110,000 peak, the retirement amount will be worth $3.3 million. And what if next cycle your Bitcoin goes to $1 million? Then wouldn't you then need 2.6 Bitcoin? Fair enough. Market reaction and community sentiment. Interestingly, the outlook of the retirement benchmark is closely tracked with current market activity. Bitcoin's price is experiencing fluctuations, reaching an intraday high of 88,500 before settling around 86.5. In addition, trading volumes on major exchanges saw significant price gain as investors adjusted their portfolios in response to the discussion. Bitcoin's dominance as the largest coin in cryptocurrency market remains at 60%, strengthening its position overall. The increase in trading activity and discussions around its long-term viability to replace pension funds suggests that more investors may consider Bitcoin as a part of their retirement strategy. Bitcoin adoption already started. Bitcoin is evolving, with some pension funds now beginning to invest in the digital currency. Earlier, CoinGape report shows that the Wisconsin Investment Board and others have gained exposure to the coin. This trend is setting the pace for more mainstream adoption by retirement fund managers. Where else are they going to put their money? I mean, their retirement fund is screwed. They need something to save their retirement fund, and Biddy just might be the thing to do it. With the growing interest in Bitcoin as a retirement asset, analysts will continue to monitor market trends to determine how cryptocurrency fits into long-term financial planning. While RIA adoption is still slowing down, publicly traded firms are going all out for the coin. Strategy, the biggest corporate holder of Bitcoin, recently purchased 6,900 Bitcoin units for $584 million. The firm made this acquisition at an average price of $84,500 per coin. Thus far, it has achieved a Bitcoin yield of 7.7 year to date. So this is shocking. 30 Bitcoin. Clearly, they're talking about today's prices, but, if next week the price goes to 110, which is, kind of what they've written in the very next paragraph, then you'll need less Bitcoin, right? If the price goes to 500 grand, then you'll need even less Bitcoin, and so on, and so on, and so on. So, I was shocked to see 30 Bitcoin. Again, we're talking about a pretty elaborate retirement with 30 Bitcoin. I mean, sailing around the Mediterranean and gambling in Monaco or something. I'm not sure what type of extravagant retirement these folks are talking about. Now, I do understand that they say that you need approximately $1.8 million to retire now. So things aren't the way they used to be. But 30 biddies at 2.6 sounds like a very extravagant lifestyle, or someone living a very, very long time. So interesting there. Not what I expected. So you got my surprised look for sure live here on YouTube and Rumble. So interesting. 30 Bitcoin to retire. Wow. Yeah. So we're a lot of us are way in the distance from retirement, the way it seems. On a good note, there are assets worldwide in such abundance that you and I just need to go out and take our share. There's over $900 trillion in assets around the world. Money is everywhere. It's time that's scarce. So use your time wisely, folks. Save more money than you spend, so you're always staying in the positive, and start saving and investing today. If you start when you're young, in your teens or early 20s, you ideally can retire when you're 40 or 45. If you have a great idea, start today with your idea, even if you're not ready, and things slowly will come together for you, and your idea will come to fruition. And even if you don't succeed, you'll still have the satisfaction of knowing that you tried, right? That counts for a lot in your psyche. I here at Bitcoin CryptoNews Global proclaim that when you're watching or listening to CryptoNews Global, you're not just watching it, you are the meat, the heart of CryptoNews Global. So please join me on my journey to amass over 500 subscribers this year. It would mean quite a bit to me. So if you found this stream enjoyable, please share, like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you on the next stream, folks. Have a good night.